Hello and welcome to my home. My name's Jackie, and this is an Hermes video, but not necessarily the picture you see on the thumbnail. So I'm gonna put on a lip. This is what I have from Hermes. I have lipstick, and this was gifted to me, so it wasn't even I got to purchase this. So this is the mini lipstick set, and I'm gonna just grab one randomly. I'm gonna try it on. I haven't tried on any of these, and I wanted you to see the colors with me, or at least this one. Wow, this feels fantastic. That feels really good. I have a different Hermes lipstick, not this formula. That is the, other than this set, is the only thing I have. What color is this? I can't really see. Rose something or other. But there's a list back here of numbers, so I have no idea. Was there a number on here? Teeny tiny little writing. Anyhow, this is the lipstick I have. It's a mini. I love it. It was a gift. I appreciate it greatly. So I recently, okay, for those who are new to the channel and have never met me, and clicked on this video because you saw this most amazing Birkin bag you've ever seen on my thumbnail, that isn't my bag. That bag belongs to my BFF, and he was kind enough to let me see it. And I went to go visit him. We don't live in the same state, so this is the first time I've ever seen an Hermes bag, touched an Hermes bag. Um, I'd seen a garden party years ago and had one that was Amazonian finish, totally different thing. But this is the first time I've seen a Birkin, and this is my first impression. So I live in the central of Texas, semi-arid desert, ish. It's kind of green, but it's really dry. I work in Austin. I'm a government employee, and I'm an average income, like first year K through 12 teachers make more money than I do. Average. So owning a Birkin is not in my journey, and but I love watching the journey. I love watching everybody buy them. I love watching people unbox them. I love, which one do you want? Which one did you buy? I like the story. I like the history. I love the fact that people love these bags. So because people have so much joy when you see them unbox them. Now, occasionally you'll see people saying, well, this is what I got. It's not the exact combination. And so most of my references after the hundreds of videos I've watched about Hermes bags is style, color, leather type, and cost value. Not just um, cost for purchase, cost for resale, cost, why they bought the bag, why they're chasing the bag. But if you just look at the bag, okay, it's okay. It's a boxy bag. It has a flap. It has sangles. It does a little twisty lock thing. It looks fine. It's not crossbody. It's just a handbag, right? So when I finally got to see one in person, first of all, the one in the picture of the thumbnail is a 40. Togo leather, black, gold hardware. I was like, wow. And what you cannot see on a photo or a video, or you can see in a photo or a video, but doesn't really translate, is the thickness of the leather. It is extremely thick. Probably the only thing I only have one bag in my whole collection that's even remotely equivalent to that type of leather feel. The Togo leather has a uniform grain to it, like because it's like a pebbled. There's a grain to it, so it's beautiful. So it looks great. It's well made. It's gorgeous. And we sat there and we chatted for 6 hours. And in those 6 hours, I picked it up, looked at it, took pictures, looked at the side, looked back, looked front, looked inside it. I didn't take his things out, no. So, what's my impression of the Birkin? It is a work of art. Now, let me explain this to you guys. It is, if the Birkin was a machine stitched bag, who cares? It's just a beautiful design bag and it's a nice leather bag. Machine stitched bags, we see them a dime a dozen. The fact of the matter is, it is a hand stitched bag. So the thickness of the leather is huge. And that's why a lot of the bags I have in my collection, which are almost all machine stitched, now most of them are, I have two or three bags. They're handmade custom, but they're still machine stitched. They might have some hand finished details, but my sister has a bag that's completely hand stitched because the thickness of the leather was so thick. The machine, there wasn't a gauge, there wasn't enough you couldn't use a machine on it. So why does this make a difference? I am an embroidery person. I've done embroidery, needlepoint, cross stitch. I've even done knitting and crochet. I'm awful at knitting. I'm okay at crochet, basic crochet, guys. Um, Embroidery, I'm just okay. I'm the best at needlepoint. I've been doing it since my mid teens. I used to work in a needlepoint craft store. I used to work with all different types of textiles and tensions and different fibers, natural fibers, synthetic fibers, wood fibers, all the fibers. So why is that Birkin amazing? And this is, I watched hundreds of videos. Nobody talks about this, or I haven't found anybody to talk about this. To be able to stitch with that level of precision is absolute mastery. This isn't an apprentice, this isn't a novice, this isn't even a hobbyist. This is somebody who has done this for years to get the tension of how you pull your thread, the length of your thread. When you pull a thread, um, this way, how long the thread is cut, how the tension goes through the material, what the finish is, how thick the needle is, the sharpness of the needle, it all matters. The environment of the room you're sitting in matters. The posture, sorry, I hit my microphone. The posture of the person doing the stitching matters. You cannot sit there for 8 hours and do this. For example, to do needlepoint, it takes me in a traditional basket weave stitch, it takes me 1 hour per square inch to stitch just traditional needlepoint. That's not a straight stitch, and I'm on a grid pattern with a framework, right? Because needlepoint is on a mono canvas, so it's not like cross stitch or embroidery where you have a solid piece of fabric and you're just stitching in the fabric. This has preset areas, holes essentially, and the tension of the fiber and how you hold it makes a huge difference. And if you're having a bad day, if the thread is a little bit weak, if I mean the stitching on this bag is so perfect, it looks like it's machine made. It's not. It looks like it's machine made. And for something to be made by a human being to look like it has been hand stitched is to look like it's machine stitched, straight stitched, uniform, no variation in tension, no variation in not even a hair difference per stitch. It is amazing. So, and what nobody else ever talks about either is when you look at the interior of the bag, the way it's seamed at the base, mastery. Like I couldn't stop looking at the interior of the base. The exterior, yeah, whatever. The interior, the thickness of the seam is like 3 layers of fabric. When you put the base onto the sides, there's so many pieces on a bag, right? So there's 4 sides and then a base. To put those pieces together and to stitch them, I was like, wow. But the reinforcement that you have to put onto handles. Let me show you um, an example. Do I have anything here remotely that can show you that would make any sense? Let's look at, well, I guess I can just pull up this bag. So this is a vintage bag, guys. So what I'm talking about, see how this has hardware? The hardware on a Birkin is only decorative. So the handles, um, they're stitched on. So these, see how this has metal rivet? That's what gives this structure the ability to hold the weight of this bag. Now, the Birkin bag, especially the one I was looking at, which was a 40, super heavy bag, these handles have to hold that bag without tearing from the body of the and you're like, what do you mean tearing? Well, look at all the weight you put in a bag, especially something as large as a Birkin 40, and what they did was, and it's just stitched. There's no metal in how the Birkin handle stitched, right? So inside the substructure of the bag, a lot of these bags, like even this one, most bags have some type of interface, cardboard, material, something in there. Well, it has more leather. So there's more leather to help reinforce the weight and distribute the weight of how this is right here, the chaps or whatever you want to call them, the way its handles are attached. That takes skill, right? And then the interior, The entire bag is leather. There is no fabric lining. It's a leather lining with a leather exterior, and whatever is on the interior of those two pieces of leather is probably more leather somehow, because you have to manufacture a bag in such a way that it can support itself, that it can support the weight and wear and tear. Um, if you in embroidery, we use interfacing. In sewing and pattern making, a lot of times you'll do a sub base to a fabric that's too thin. That's why you don't see a lot of heavy embroidery on a very thin fabric. It'll start tearing at the fibers of the fabric, and you'll see pinholes because it's the tension of the different two materials will start pulling on it. Now, think of the thread on this bag, to have something that's beautifully straight, and that's why I'm saying the Birkin is a piece of art. Now, is the Birkin bag on my journey? No, I can't afford it. It's Do I appreciate it like I appreciate art? Yes. I've been to the Louvre. I've seen the Mona Lisa. I've seen lots of art in the Louvre. I've seen lots of beautiful statuary. I've been to museums, and I kind of look at the Birkin as owning a piece of art made by an artist that is amazing. It's still out of my tax bracket. It's still way out of my reach. And even on the pre-love, re-love gifting market, I can't afford that bag. Um, would I love it? Yeah. Am I going to spend my life trying to get one? No. Because ultimately, I still work in a state government office, and that is something that would make me, my comfort zone will not let me carry that bag. So for me, I still love the Ricky. It's still my favorite bag. But I can tell you one thing, I don't blame anyone who's chasing that Birkin. If you want the Birkin, Kelly Constance, whatever you want, and you love that bag, keep loving that bag. If you can afford it, buy one. Buy one in 50 colors. I don't care. I think they're amazing. I think they're gorgeous. I think the level of craftsmanship on that bag is beyond compare when you think about that's hand stitched. Now, as I say, as a machine stitched bag, it's just a bag. It's just a bag. But the artistry that it takes to, I have hand knotted rugs in my house from Persia. Um, a couple of them are over 50 years old. I love textile art. To me, a leather is just another textile. I have cowhide rugs. I have longhorn cowhide rugs I've had for 20 some odd years. I have tapestry hanging, and I have French tapestry. When I go and visit family, I look at textile art. I look at the weave, I touch it if I can. And that's why I've always wanted to touch the Birkin. I wanted to see, what do people keep talking about? I mean, because looking at it, you're like, it's a bag. Okay, it has a flap, it has cool sangles, whatever. It has like really nice looking leather, cool, whatever. All these, most of my bags are leather. They all came from a cow. So what's the difference? So and the difference really is how it's constructed. For me, it's how it's constructed. Now, for other people, it could be 100 other reasons, but for me, I am duly impressed. And I would, I think it's a beautiful, but I do live in an age, in an era where most of the things I have are machine made. Most of the things I have are all mass produced. None of these things are handcrafted. I do have two or three bags that are handcrafted by a local artisan, and one of these days I'll pull them out and show everybody. But in general, my bags are mass produced. They're made by Judy Burke. They're made by Coach. They're Kate Spade. They're my best quality bags. Probably are my Ralph Lauren bags, and the ones I love the most. I love them all. So it's hard to. I have made in Italy. I have one made in China. I have ones made in the United States. I have ones made in Mexico, Costa Rica. I have bags somewhere in this house that I bought when they were in Thailand. When I was in Thailand, I have bags made everywhere. But the material tends to still be leather, and leather still is bovine. I might have one or two lamb, goat, leather bags somewhere, or lined that way. I have a couple snake bags. I have one alligator or crocodile, excuse me. I have some exotics around the house, but it's all leather. And it's just how it's treated, the age of it. So for me to really understand the Birkin, I had to touch it. And that's what I kept wanting to say, is I really want to touch this bag. Now, not all of the bags in the Hermes lineup is hand stitched. A lot of these are machine stitched. I'm telling you, tension is a huge thing. The thickness of the leather is a huge thing. So my guess, because I do not know, is that the bags that are not hand stitched are of a thinner leather, and thinner does not mean bad. It just means thinner, because you have to be able to get the machine to have the needle go through it consistently without, again, tension. It all matters when it comes to sewing. So I am forever grateful that my friend, you know, first of all, I have a friend who gave me this lipstick set, and that is a huge, wonderful gift. And then I was able to just hang it. He just handed me his bag, said, "Hey, here it is," and let me go through it. And that's amazing because the only time you get to touch a Birkin is when you're buying one, because I wasn't able to ever see one. I don't really have a store. I can't go up and touch one. I couldn't. I wanted to go to a store so I could just touch one, and he's like, "Nope, you can't do that here." So when I went to visit him, I said, "Birkin boy, Craig, can I see your bag?" And as his moniker on YouTube is Birkin boy, that is his, his bag, his favorite style bag. And the 40 on him looks fabulous, by the way. On me, it looks ginormous. But it's a great bag. So all the people on that journey, keep on going. I say just go buy one. If you can afford one on pre-love market, just go buy one. I wouldn't I just can't deal with the maybes, the woulda, shoulda, couldas, and you might get your exact color, you might not. But it's a limited supply. So limited supplies, they get to set the price. They get to tell you how much you will pay and how much we'll make. And having someone who does hand stitching, um, you can't do that all the time. Your hands cannot do that. A hand pulling thread through leather, even if it has a pilot hole, the tension has to be consistent till you're done with that line of stitching. Um, so you can only do that and you have to take a break. I mean, you could literally ruin your hands. And I'm telling you, mastery um, is somebody who's had enough experience um, to do this completely without shifting a hair. Even with pilot holes already stamped into leather, guys, you can still make mistakes. There was not a stitch anywhere out of place on his bag, and his bag is like 10 years old or something. uh, it looks brand new. I was in awe and super impressed when I see embroidery, and when I go to estate sales, thrift stores, people's homes, wherever you have great grandma's embroidery, um, hand stitched, cross stitched tablecloths, I stop and look every time, and I'm looking at how it's was stitched, and you can tell the difference between a novice stitcher and a mastery. And people can work their entire lifetime on stitching to get that one piece that is perfect. And it only takes a second to make that stitch with the last stitch be wrong. I've done that 100 times. Most of the artwork of all the textiles I have stitched, I don't have them because I see flaws. When my friends who I give this stuff to, they're like, "Oh, it's gorgeous. This is so beautiful. Why would you give this away? This is great. It took you hours. It cost so much money." I'm like, "Yeah, but here, and here." Like, Jackie. I'm like, "Yeah, but I see it." And that's what I'm saying. If I ever made my own bag, there's no way I could say, "Oh, here, let me sell it to you." Be like, "Heck no, that's mine." It's like, that is just, I am honestly in awe of the skill of the people who who don't have to, but who make those bags. It is skill. It is mastery level skill. I would like to see their novice pieces and their journeyman pieces before they got up to mastery, because beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Anyway, thank you for watching my video. This is going out a little earlier than expected. So this is being filmed on May 9th. I'm posting it May 10th because I'm going live May 10th. So today, if you're watching the video on May 10th, I go live at 6:30 Central Standard Time. PM. And on my channel, I go live twice a week on clockwork. I throw in extra lives as the mood strikes me, and I will be talking about Hermes today. So I wanted to make sure I got this video out as a bonus video, since I already had a pre-scheduled video going out at 6 a.m. This video is going to post sometime in the afternoon as an extra. So on Friday, guys, you're going to get 3 different videos. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you are on a journey and you have a channel, let me know. I will go watch your videos. I love watching people chase this dream and buy these bags, and I get it now. Financially, I'm not on that journey, but I appreciate and value the product. So anyway, have a great day. Bye.